Tonight, police are investigating a shooting in Boulder that sent 3 teenagers to the hospital overnight. This happened at a party, and police are still looking for a suspect this evening. That party was in the area of Euclid and 14th Street near the CU campus in Boulder on the Hill in that neighborhood. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles. Of course, the Hill is home to a lot of student housing, Greek houses, rentals, but police say these teenage victims do not live in that area. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi walks us through the case so far.
Do you have a gunshot wound?
911 calls paint a better picture of what might have unfolded in Boulder as shots rang out overnight. But Friday night's questions...
I don't recall. Do we have any description of possible suspects or vehicles? I have no suspect information at this time.
...are left without answers still today. Boulder police are investigating a shooting at 14th and Euclid.
One person in front of 1019-14.
That's the Hill neighborhood of Boulder, across from campus, home to Greek houses, college rentals, and plenty of parties. Boulder police say this happened at some kind of large party. 3 teenagers were injured in the shooting.
There's a report about 100 people attending this party.
Boulder police say the 2 17-year-olds and 1 18-year-old shot were just in town for the party. They don't live in the city of Boulder. Police say the teens were shot in the legs and arms, and they're in stable condition now. Some questions answered, many left lingering.
Whenever we can get a direction of travel for suspects or suspect vehicle, we can work on a perimeter from there.
Again, Boulder police have not released any suspect information, or even if they have someone in custody. It's also not clear if the suspect and victims knew each other. Anyone with information should call the Boulder police tip line. Live in the studio, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
Lauren, thank you. And Commerce City police are looking for a person and a truck tonight that were at the scene of a shooting that left 2 people critically injured. This happened overnight. Police found 2 of the victims in a parking lot of a 7-Eleven store at 104th and Highway 85 around 8 o'clock last night. Commerce City police want to talk to the people or the person spotted on surveillance video along with the owner of a black Dodge Ram truck. It did not have license plates. Police released a picture of the SUV because the person seen getting out of it is someone they want to talk to, someone they don't believe was involved, but still someone they want to talk to. To our forecasts now, a high-altitude tornado was reported in Colorado yesterday. A National Weather Service storm report says this one touched down 4 miles from Cripple Creek in Teller County, a little after 3 Friday afternoon. Here's a snapshot from our radar showing the line of strong thunderstorms in that area yesterday. The tornado reportedly caused some minor damage to a home and damaged or flattened about 20 acres of tree. And when we say high elevation, that's because Cripple Creek is sitting above 9,000 feet. Today, we have the threat of more thunderstorms. It's been raining heavily across the Quarry Fire burn scar area, something we, of course, want to watch closely. Kathy Sabin joining us this weekend to talk about what's going on there and some stuff south of town right now.
Yes, another active weather day, Jenny, absolutely. And that high-altitude tornado, while not rare, is very unusual, and we have a similar setup for today. So we're watching these storms very closely as they move from west to east off the mountains and foothills across the Front Range and into Denver. A brief shower moving through the Denver metro area in the last half hour, but we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Douglas County and Elbert County, Ponderosa Park, the Pinery, Highlands Ranch, all seeing some heavy rain, no hail yet. And then with course are tracking these cells that are coming off the foothills. A flash flood warning in central Jefferson County for the Quarry burn scar because of the heavy rain from these storms as they track to the east. Heavy rain outside of Castle Rock this hour and Kiowa. The heaviest rain has now moved south of Highlands Ranch and Parker, and we're not seeing a lot of heavy rain in Denver. But again, we want to watch these slow moving storms as they come off the foothills, because any amount of rain in those burn scar areas is going to create the potential for debris flow and mudslides. Right now, all the heavy weather, Franktown, Ponderosa Park, and Kiowa, those storms are headed east your way. More rain and storms in the forecast for Denver this evening. All of the timing and impact coming up.
Kathy, thank you. The U.S. Forest Service still lists the Alexander Mountain Fire as 91% contained, but not growing any bigger. And this weekend, officials are warning people in that area to also be ready for flash flooding in and around the burn scar. Volunteers spent the day passing out sandbags in the Loveland area, and 9 News reporter Evan Krugel shows us how the community is stepping in to help.
Every good assembly line needs someone with experience. And at 92 years old, Dee Martin has plenty of it.
I open bags, and I've learned a new skill. I can tie bags now.
Those quick hands were needed Saturday as Dee helped fill hundreds of sandbags.
It is a lot of bags.
Her son Eric glad for a chance to help those impacted by the recent fires.
A quarter-inch of rain can cause some major flooding issues. So, yeah, these are people trying to save their homes or save their properties, and it's just really essential for them.
The volunteer group Serve 6-8 has been here before. They passed out thousands of sandbags after the Cameron Peak fire.
You'd hate to see people suffer and lose things, and I can't imagine going home and not having anything. It's just a blessing to help.
As Dee helped fill them up,
very good.
Mark Miller helped hand them out.
Well, good luck.
Only a few cars came by on day one, but they know the need will only grow.
We can't change the world, but we can sure change our community.
I just see people that care and love their neighbors, are concerned for them. And this is how we can help.
Serve 6-8 says they have enough sand here for at least 5,000 bags, but they'll continue adding to this pile and making more bags as long as it's needed in this community. In Loveland, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
The state health department now says nearly a dozen puppies need to be put down after they were exposed to rabies at an adoption event. This happened in Sheridan. According to the rescue, Moms and Mutts, one of the puppies in that litter tested positive for rabies this week. Jessica Eden is a volunteer at Moms and Mutts. She and her boyfriend, Keith Brick, adopted a puppy from that litter of 11. They were little 11-week-old hound mixes. They named their puppy Masubi. They've had him now for nearly 2 weeks. When they learned about the rabies exposure this week, they say the state originally told them they could just quarantine the puppy. Then yesterday, the change from the state, now a mandate that all puppies have to be returned and euthanized as a precaution.
It goes from quarantining to euthanization. So we want to know what the leap was there. Why isn't other things being considered?
If anybody from the state is watching this, we just pray and beg you to just consider discussing this with the families of the puppies and seeing if there's any other options.
Jessica and Keith tell us that they're looking into all their options, potentially even legal action in hopes of saving their puppy, Masubi. The founder of the rescue, Erin Jones, told us she doesn't agree with putting the puppies down, but the state has threatened jail time and seizure of other dogs in the rescue if they don't help collect and ultimately deliver the puppies to be euthanized. State health officials have told us that families already surrendered 8 of the puppies. They say the puppies were unvaccinated when they had prolonged and repeated exposure to rabies. They say the most humane approach is to euthanize the entire litter. It can take 3 to 6 weeks for an animal to show symptoms of rabies, and the only way to confirm it is if the animal is put down and then later tested. There is an Einstein Bagels in Denver that now has to get some repairs to the outside of the store after a car crashed into it this morning. This happened at 18th and Franklin, and the wall has a pretty sizable hole now in the side of the building. Customers were quickly evacuated just as a precaution. Nobody got hurt. No word yet what sent that driver into the bagel shop this morning. And there's a house on Lincoln Street in Denver. If you remember, this exploded on this day 1 year ago. The house has finally been taken down. The blast destroyed half of this building. It was a 4-plex, also damaged a home next door. The building had been a real eyesore. The permit process was really delaying the demolition, but now the land is clear. And at last check, the Denver Fire Department had not yet determined a cause for the explosion. More gold medals for Team USA, and with them, plenty of excitement. We have some Olympic spoilers, so if you don't want to hear what we're about to say, now's the time to turn your volume down. I will give you 5 more seconds so that you don't spoil your Olympic stuff. But if you want to find out, and maybe you already did because, you know, all the push alerts. USA women's soccer, once again, top of the world tonight. Littleton's own Mallory Swanson scored the only goal in the whole match against Brazil for Team USA. A real hero there. Also, Windsor native Sophia Smith, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sophia. Lots of reasons to celebrate. We will hear from Mallory coming up later in sports. And just about an hour ago, the USA men's basketball team once again won gold. Steph Curry led the team to beat France 98-87. The second Olympic Games in a row now that France and USA have faced off in a gold medal game. Jacob Toby will have more highlights coming up in sports.